Good morning, everyone. I'm Jane Turton, the Chair of the Royal Television Society, and it is an enormous pleasure to welcome you to the RTS London Convention 2024. And an especially warm welcome to our group of RTS bursary scholars. Could you please all put your hands up? Yep, look at you sitting in the middle. Here today, and this is the 11th year of our industry-leading scheme. And hot off the press, imagine the drum roll please, from the RTS this year, we're launching a brand new online mini MBA in television and streaming, and more of that later. So when we last met in London 2 years ago, our theme was fighting for attention. We explored how we battle for eyeballs in a market where our choice is seemingly endless, and tech allows and even encourages us to be highly promiscuous. We heard from executives, including Academy Award-nominated Baz Luhrmann, who discussed the power of creativity. We heard from Michael Grade, who spoke publicly for the first time since joining Ofcom as chair, and we dipped into the metaverse during a fascinating interactive session. But this year's topic is the next episode, Keeping Our Creative Edge, and focuses on how the UK can maintain its global position as a leader in creative excellence, innovating and producing the very best shows, navigating the challenges, seizing the opportunities, and growing the sector. We have a fantastic lineup of speakers and panelists who will explore the issues facing the industry and offer their unique experiences. Expect forthright opinions and maybe, even hopefully, some fiery debate. Netflix's co-CEO Ted Sarandos will kick off the day shortly with his international keynote address, in which he will share his thoughts on the UK's position as a creative leader. And in the 3 UK keynotes, we will hear from BBC Director General Tim Davie, Channel 4 Chief Executive Alex Mahon, and ITV Chief Executive Dame Carolyn McCall. And they will highlight recent challenges and successes for the PSBs, discuss creative opportunities, and unpack unique features of a changing media and technical landscape. We will also hear from global industry leaders on attracting viewers and building IP and audiences, as well as award-winning writers and creatives discussing talent and ideas. And of course from David Beckham, who will talk to Jane Featherstone about the development of his content studio. Plus ITN CEO Rachel Korp and Ofcom CEO Dame Melanie Dawes. And they examine the issues surrounding online information, young audiences, and especially trustworthy news sources. We're also delighted to welcome the new Secretary of State for Culture, Media and Sport, the Right Honourable Lisa Nandy, who in her first major keynote since taking office will outline her priorities for the creative industries. And then we have the spot analysis of today's convention in a special edition of The Rest is Entertainment from podcasters Richard Osman and Marina Hyde. So before moving on to the main business of the day, though, I would like to say a few words about former RTS Chief Executive Simon Albury, who died last week. Simon was a tireless champion of inclusivity, equality, diversity, and education. And for him, these were never an afterthought. They were really core to the project, to the business, and to the sector's entire raison d'etre. Simon was part of my first chapter in television when I started at Meridian and then United. He was a real inspiration, and our thoughts are with his family and many friends today. And finally, in the words of a true television titan, a big thank you to Netflix, the principal sponsor of this year's convention, to Teresa and her team at the RTS, as well as the convention's advisory committee, and to the convention's executive producer, Helen Scott, for putting together such a fantastic agenda. And just before we welcome the chair of this year's RTS London Convention, Netflix's amazing Vice President Production, Anna Mallett, we'd like to give you a preview of the sizzle for the RTS Mini MBA. Thank you very much.
Here we go.
This is quite unique, isn't it? Everybody say babies!
Television is exciting, it's dynamic.
Fire it. That was a bit tense, Anna.
That was.
Talent is the most important thing in television.
Without people, we don't really have a business.
Speaking of energy,
The UK, I think, is one of the most exciting television markets in the world.
There's so many opportunities and so many different paths you can take.
I don't know why I like it, but I do.
it is a complex, multi-layered business, but it's also really easy to understand, much more easy than people would want you to believe.
3, 2, 1.
Most people's jobs or understanding of the industry tends to be a jigsaw piece. It's very unusual to have a holistic understanding of everything from start to finish.
Deal or no deal?
The RTS Mini MBA in Television and Streaming Media offers a comprehensive, practical business context for the fast-moving TV industry.
This course is a one-stop shop.
The CPD accredited course provides 80 hours of learning covering 24 modules. Over 100 executives and professionals in the industry have contributed to the course.
This course is unprecedented.
Hearing from our industry leaders is gold dust.
It blows everything else I've seen out of the water.
The Mini MBA, I think, is a terrific innovation to help gain greater insight and a professional qualification.
It's the sort of intersection of commerce and creativity. It's important to understand all facets of any business that you work in.
That's exactly what I'm after.
It's a yes!
You will have huge FOMO if you don't take this course.
Well, you're the expert.
Enjoy the RTS's Mini MBA. It's a blast.
Enjoy the show, everybody!
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Jane. I want to start by thanking Teresa and the RTS team for asking me to chair this year's convention on behalf of Netflix. It's a huge honour. As we celebrate our 12th year in the UK, it's fantastic to be the first streaming service to sponsor the most prestigious event in our industry's calendar. The theme of this year's conference is the next episode, Keeping Our Creative Edge. In the early stages of planning, I was blessed to have a thoughtful advisory committee filled with the great and good who gave generously of their time. We had lively discussions about the state of our industry, the very real challenges faced by production companies and the freelance community, the future of trusted news sources, the pros and cons of new funding mechanisms, the wide range of players competing for audience time and engagement, the real need for diversity of thought, and what a new government might mean. A whole range of things. But we kept coming back to what makes the UK special and genuinely unique. What gives us our creative edge? Now, we Brits tend towards modesty, but here there is a lesson from our cousins from across the pond who are much more candid. When it comes to storytelling, Britain is exceptionally creative. Our industry produces truly original content, from The Crown to Brassic, Bond to Potter, Love Island to Strictly. This all sits within a wider tradition of storytelling. Chaucer, Shakespeare, Austen, the Brontes, Agatha Christie, Jilly Cooper, a personal favourite, a canon of artistic expression which is loved around the world and continues to be built upon and expanded by new people and new ideas. This tradition of storytelling, which also includes the theatre, the amphitheatre before that, and the wandering poets of the past, has given us the best writers, artists, musicians, and creatives in the world, and has enabled us to compete, evolve, and get better over centuries. What the West Coast is to tech, Germany is to precision engineering, the UK is to content creativity and production. The British entertainment and media market is expected to surpass 100 billion for the first time this year and will be the largest in Europe by next. The central question is, how do we, as an industry, take all the things that make us creatively brilliant and use it to stay at the forefront of a global, competitive industry? How can we enable continued risk-taking? How can we learn from and collaborate with our worthy competitors rather than fear them? How can we embrace new technologies, foster diverse UK storytelling, and pivot in a rapidly changing environment? My ambition is that today's convention will start that conversation. The conference colours, tone, and name are deliberately future-facing and optimistic, because the future is not something we should fear. We have shown time and time again that we are a dynamic, world-beating industry. Even as technology advances come thick and fast, social media becomes the de facto platform, and securing and engaging audiences harder, we must remember that we have something special. We have that creative edge. Now, ahead of the breaks today, we've brought together some of the world's best creatives, including Shonda Rhimes, Nile Rodgers, David Tennant, and others, to get their thoughts on Britain's creative edge. So please do stay around for those. I'm incredibly excited about today's lineup of speakers, and I'm thrilled to begin by introducing Netflix's co-CEO, Ted Sarandos, who is kicking off today's proceedings. Welcome, Ted, and a warm welcome to Kirsty Walk, who will be in conversation with Ted after his address. Thank you, and we really hope you enjoyed the day.